Folks, I don't know how I read that. I've never been satisfied with any reading of it. I've read it into tapes many times, into groups and so forth many times, but I've never felt that I could read it as I wanted to. Sometimes the quiet reading of it is better than the one that was impassioned, and I feel that perhaps I just read it with some measure of impassionment. But as far as edifying statements, I would hope that the story clearly depicts the solipsistic, or the all-inclusiveness of a single mind that is the experience of illumination. The day I bent down, I bent a very weary, burdened Bill down at a pond, which is just over the hill here from Woodsong. I bent down in total frustration and confusion, bewilderment, and I gave up completely that morning in the spring. And that is when I stood up, and I think stood up conscious for the first time that the universe and all it contains is included within this very awareness, that right here, right now, listen to these words, that this awareness is all and only to each of us. Truly, I looked around and birds were little darts of light, all included within and as the very life that was looking at them. And that is what this story is. The human experience is recognized in the melody of the woodcutter, because the human experience is the birthing of the divine experience. And it was seen then that no part of the human experience was bad. No part of it was really even an illusion. But it was the depict, the awakening of the divine experience that is the God experience. It is not the dissolution of a woodcutter identity so much as the understanding of what the woodcutter identity is. The woodcutter identity is the role, the purposeful, meaningful role we play, believing that life is in matter, believing that trees and mountains and birds and flowers are external, are out there separate and apart. Whereas the kingly identity, the real identity, the only identity all the while is this awareness that right now listens and understands why the woodcutter struggles so, why the woodcutter makes his own anguish and agony, and that all of that anguish and agony is one's own shadow self about the business of making the light plain, clearly discerned and understood beyond intellectualism. Hopefully the melody addresses the grand human problem of which way to go, which path to follow, when there appear to be so many teachers, so many telling us to go this way or that way, so many books in print, so many philosophies, ideology. But the recognition that awareness includes within it the entire scene. Look to the north, to the south, to the east, to the west. All these things are yours this day. With that recognition comes the comprehension that all these pathways are included within awareness, like flowers in a garden. And also, all humanity, all the appearance of people, the appearance of multiplicity, are all included within one awareness, this awareness, and that people are not independent actors outside the divine mind, that this awareness is the functioning of. So suddenly, I could see that there was no pathway to perfection. Rather, perfection is present now. There is no way there but to be there. To believe I must struggle longer is to leave a struggler and a goal that is outside myself. No way. There is no way there but to be there. With the birth of the melody came the birth of top-down thinking as opposed to bottom-up thinking. The thinking of yore had been that I was one among many, struggling to arrive at a unity concept of singleness, oneness. The top-down view, as depicted in this story, begins with the unity knowledge that is so self-evidently true when we stop just for a moment to recognize the oneness and aloneness and allness of this awareness, outside of which one has never been. So we start with the unity of oneness, the allness, and understand that this awareness is God life happening right now, without wait. So it was said in the melody, there is naught left to do but to gird up thy loins and accept thy rightful identity. Awareness. Am I? Not Bill's awareness, but God's awareness, for which God, isness, is responsible. And finally, with the birth of the melody, came the command so clearly, so precisely, that it couldn't be misunderstood. That I must sing this song. That since mankind is but the tangible appearing of the one infinite life that is identity, that it was incumbent on me to speak to all I could and tell them of their uprightness, to speak to man and tell him of his childlikeness, to speak to myself, appearing as people, of their innocence and purity and all rightness. And that's what this experience of mine has been since that day. Thank you all for listening, and thank you for allowing me this opportunity to sing this song once again.